I thought I was special. For weeks, the messages had been everything I wanted to hear. Funny, charming, intimate. He seemed to know me better than anyone, like we'd been orbiting the same thoughts. So when he finally sent the invite, "Come to the mixer, just us, something real," I didn't even hesitate. The loft was upscale, all glass and steel with a view of the skyline. I expected candles, maybe soft music, a romantic kind of reveal. Instead, the first thing I saw when the elevator doors slid open was people. Dozens of them, all standing around awkwardly, clutching their phones, glancing at each other with the same confused expression. I froze in the doorway, the hum of small talk bouncing off the walls, and then I noticed it. They all looked like me. Not exact copies, just close enough to be unsettling. Same face shape, same haircut, more or less. Same nervous laugh as they tried to break the tension. Some taller, some shorter, but the resemblance was undeniable, like staring into a funhouse of broken mirrors where every reflection had been slightly altered. A man near me muttered, "He invited you too, didn't he?" I nodded slowly. My throat was too dry for words. The realization rippled across the room as we began comparing notes. Different usernames, same profile picture, different flirty lines, same compliments. Each of us thought we were the only one. Each of us thought we mattered. That was when the lights cut out. The loft plunged into darkness. Screams burst out, high and jagged. Someone shoved past me, another tripped and fell. Then a speaker crackled overhead, filling the silence with a voice I recognized, the same smooth voice from my messages. "Thank you for coming," it said, calm, amused. "I've waited so long to meet you all in person." The room went utterly still. "You've noticed the similarities," the voice continued. "Good. That was the point. I needed to see you together, to compare, to choose." Someone shouted, "What the hell is this?" The voice chuckled. "This is selection. One of you is the original. The rest are prototypes. And tonight we'll discover which." A mechanical click echoed from the front door. Locked. Panic surged. People pounded against the walls, clawed at the door handle, searching for a way out. But no matter how hard they tried, the loft was sealed tight. The voice returned, lower this time, almost intimate. "Don't worry. The test will be fair. The true one will survive. The others, well, you were only ever meant to get this far." In the darkness, movement stirred. A shuffle, then a scream cut short. Something heavy crashed onto the floor. I couldn't tell who it was because even in the brief flicker of emergency light from the exit sign, everyone's faces blurred into mine. I pressed my back to the wall, shaking, clutching my phone like a lifeline. My own reflection stared at me from the black screen, pale, terrified, but still mine. "For now." The speaker hissed again, closer, sharper. "Round 1 begins." I'd been talking to her for weeks, online of course. No live photos, no video calls, just carefully framed pictures and words that hooked me from the start. She had a way of answering my thoughts before I even typed them, finishing my sentences in the chat box. I should have thought that was creepy. Instead, I told myself it meant she understood me better than anyone. When she finally suggested dinner in person, I didn't hesitate. The restaurant was crowded, buzzing with the usual Friday chaos. I spotted her instantly, at a corner table lit by a single candle. She smiled at me. My stomach lurched. Because it wasn't her. It was me. Not just a lookalike. My exact face, my exact posture, the tilt of my head, the nervous smile I practiced in mirrors. I gestured toward the empty chair across from him. Nobody else seemed to notice. The waiter walked right past, not even flinching. Conversations flowed around us, like nothing was wrong. "Sit," he said. His voice was mine, down to the rhythm, the slight rasp at the end of words. I obeyed. I don't know why, but it gets worse. Across the table, he laughed softly. "You finally made it." My hands shook under the table. "What is this?" Some kind of prank? He raised his glass of wine, my favorite of course, and sipped. Not a prank, a reunion. The food came quickly, plates I didn't order but recognized, my comfort dishes, the ones I only ate alone. But check this out. I stared at him. Every fork movement, every smirk. It was uncanny. No, impossible. "You've been talking to me this whole time?" I whispered. "Of course," he said, leaning closer. His eyes, my eyes, glimmered in the candlelight. "Who else knows you so well? Who else would?" I tried to stand, but my legs wouldn't cooperate. The air felt thick, as if the candle smoke clung to my throat. Then he leaned in until our foreheads nearly touched. His voice was a hiss only I could hear. "I needed you to see me before I replace you." My chair scraped loudly as I shoved back and bolted. Nobody turned to look. Nobody cared. I stumbled through the restaurant, crashing into a waiter, muttering apologies as I shoved out the front door. Cold night air slapped me, but relief didn't come. Because when I looked back through the restaurant window, I froze. He was still sitting there at the table, sipping wine with a calm grin. My grin, my teeth, my exact crooked canine glinting in the candlelight. But the reflection in the glass didn't match me. I was standing outside, trembling, gasping, yet in the glass I was seated inside, calm, composed, eating dinner like I belonged there. My reflection lifted its head, eyes locking on mine, and smiled wider. Then without moving its lips, my own voice echoed in my ears, cold and steady. "You're already too late." I joined Heartlink late one night, scrolling past rows of too perfect smiles and gym selfies. Most profiles felt like bots, all bland compliments and recycled pickup lines. Then I saw her. The profile picture was simple. A girl about my age, sitting cross-legged in the grass, smiling like she knew me. Something about her face seemed familiar, but I brushed it off. Her username was just profile pending. It felt like a glitch, but when I swiped right, the match hit instantly. My phone buzzed. "I'm glad you found me." Her messages felt different. Not flirty, not awkward, comforting. She asked about my favorite books, my guilty pleasure songs, my hometown diner I hadn't thought about in years. Every word she typed felt perfectly tuned, like she'd studied me her whole life. I laughed to myself, texting back in the dark, "You're almost too good to be real." That's when the unease started. Out of curiosity, I screenshot her photo and ran a reverse search. The result didn't lead to a social media account. It led to a gravestone. The name carved in the stone was smeared by moss and weathering, but the face etched into the marble was unmistakable. Her profile picture. I slammed my laptop shut. My phone buzzed again. "Why did you stop talking to me?" My heart hammered. I didn't reply, but the messages didn't stop. "Don't leave me alone again. I'm almost there. You'll see me soon." I uninstalled the app, cleared my history, even reset my phone, but when it booted back up, Heartlink was still there, and profile pending was pinned to the top of my messages. That's when I noticed the change. Her picture had updated. The same grassy background, but now her face looked different. Softer jawline, darker hair. Her smile was mine. I nearly dropped my phone. I scrolled through the message history, my stomach tightening. Each older profile picture had shifted too, incrementally closer, each one a step nearer to my face. The final picture, her newest one, was nearly identical to me, down to the hoodie I was wearing that very moment. I stared at it, trembling, when a new message appeared. "Look behind you." My throat locked. The room was silent, save for the faint hum of my laptop. I didn't move, couldn't. Then buzz, another notification. Too slow. I spun around. Nothing was there, just the shadows stretching along my dorm walls. But when I turned back to my phone, the chat bubble was still open. Only the text field at the bottom wasn't blank anymore. It was typing. By itself. The words appeared, letter by letter, in the box where my replies should be. I'm glad you found me. The phone slipped from my hand, landing face up on the floor. My reflection shimmered faintly in the glass. Only the reflection was smiling, and it wasn't me. Thanks for listening. Now close your eyes and sleep.